Hey guys, Zero back with another real-time gaming video about Skylords. This game's pretty awesome so far. I actually did realize this morning when I logged in to make this video that I'd accidentally left my resource production on the noob settings, so now I have really random resources. But we're just gonna hop into the missions. I just thought I'd point that out because I failed completely. So we've gone through up to mission 12. We probed effectively. I could probe further planets close by, but that's a pain, so I'm not going to. So our current mission really is to capture 9 planets, which is fairly easy because, as you remember, just like the baking shows, we sent our assault through hyperspace, and so I'm here now. So I'm going to capture this planet. I'm going to capture Icarus. I already got one of those, but hey, whatever. Now you'll notice, if I go back to my assault ship, I captured Icarus. Misclick, whoops. Okay, if I go here and I go capture planet, I don't have enough to take Aether. So what I'm going to have to do is grab my Uber Tranny, and I'm going to dock on my awesome home world, because awesome is awesome. I'm going to put 16,000 troops on, put maybe 500 hydrogen, 100 uranium, all that jazz. Transports need both, because if you're clicking in open space, you need to be able to move. Yeah, I can also drop on beta and grab 8,400 more troops, because that's what I'm going to need to capture the system. Here's the trick. I can go to list all planets. I can go to Icarus, and here I am. See how easy that is? It's a lot easier than intergalactic flight or putting in the coordinates manually. So I'm just going to load this up because I can. I can go to ships. Actually, also, if you go to space, you can actually click on your assault, and as you can see, it changed over to my assault, which is kind of a nifty feature. It's good in combat. It doesn't really matter in this situation, but yeah. And also, my assault doesn't have piracy, but it can take troops from my ships because it's my ships, and so my ship's like, cool, you can have it. Oh, I don't have enough space. Oh gosh, definitely not enough of that. Okay. As you'll see farther in the game, you'll actually get like bigger ships, so your assault won't need to refuel while you're taking Space Confederation planets. Like that should be happening fairly soon. However, you do kind of want to go from your 15k assault to a 500k, because 500k is the biggest, and what happens is you're going to build a 500,000 volume assault. You're going to want to train it on Space Confederation planets up to 200%, and then you're going to stop using it, and you're going to build another one. That's the most efficient way to do it, because that way, when you go to attack a planet, and you're like flying around with your assault, and you're like, choom, choom, and you like say this was a homeworld, and I go to capture planet, it's gonna have like 100 million defense. And the most an assault can do, fully loaded, fully trained, is 15 or 1.5 million. So you're gonna need to crash a bunch of assaults. So what you want to do is train your assaults to 200 minus the first 15k you get, because that's a waste. But you want to get a 500k as soon as you can. Like every noob should do this. Is like because I'm actually going to explain these tabs, but if I go to my resource table, I see that I have 25, 35, 40, 50, I have like 60, 65k iron right now. If I start to capture planets aggressively, which gets easier and easier, because as you can see, these ones have nearbys. Oh snap, no they don't. Awkward. Okay, well I have 8 systems that I know exactly where they are, I can probe. So that's 8 times 3, so that's 24. So that's 24 planets that you're going to get 5k iron off of. So I mean, it gets pretty quick. Once you start finding these planets and taking them, you can get them pretty quick. So this video is actually going to boil down to a lot of the mechanics of this screen, and yeah, pretty much of this screen, because this is a really important screen. We already talked about intrusion detection, and I just used one of the tabs there. We're going to go to defensive tables. So this is where you see if your points are all allocated or not. So if I unallocate a point, it gives me 10% more defense. So as you can see, troops and energy are the only resources in this screen, and it shows my total of them over here. But it doesn't. There's no defensive shields applied, so it doesn't really. I'm going to do it on this one because there's 5k defense. I'm going to unallocate a point. I'm going to go to planets. I'm going to go to defense table. You can see here it went up 10%, which means if somebody attacks it, they lose 10% more troops. or it costs them 10% more, which is exactly what you want to do because you don't want people to go, I'm going to kill him because it's easy. You want to be challenging. However, you don't want to have high defense. You don't want to have low high defense. That doesn't make sense, does it? That's because, remember, an assault can take out 1.5 million in defense. So anything under 1.5 million is really just an easy farm. It's something people are going to want to kill because they can get points, but the assault won't die. Because as you remember, if you attack something that's higher defense than your assault, you lose your assault. That's the only way to take homeworlds. But if somebody drops you a 1.4 million planet, you're going to be able to capture that and get the points for the cost of just 500,000 troops instead of the cost of 500 iron and roughly 1.6 million troops to kill 1.5 million defense. So it's really a giant point bonus. So you never want to have less than you really want to shoot for 10 million defense, which isn't hard. It's doable just out of newbie mode. Just make sure that you save all your energy and that you keep troops and build buildings, which we'll talk about. But you don't want to have like 500,000 defense because that's the perfect juicy planet, especially if it has non-defensive resources. Like anything that isn't troops or energy is non-defensive. That means when people kill your planet, they get to keep it. You don't want to be a good target. Remember that. Okay, so we're going to move on to the resources table. Okay, so this tells you exactly what's on every planet. It tells me that I have this much hydrogen on every planet, this much, it shows that I don't have any iron. Oh, sorry, golly me. Oh. So I'm tired, it's kind of early in the morning. It tells you how many troops and stuff. This menu is not super useful unless you're like trying to do a big trade and you're not sure how much stuff you have later on in the game when you get like untrackable amounts of resources. Or if you're just trying to see how much gold you have, if you should probe or not. It's also useful in this situation because if you remember, what I'm doing is I'm actually using more vital than I'm producing. So you can see this planet has 716 vital left, which means it wasn't producing last night because it goes from login to login. If I'm online, it works fine. But if I'm offline, the production doesn't register until I log back in. So if I'm gone for 12 hours, my production won't actually go up until I log in, and at that point it gives me 12 hours of production. But if it runs out of vital, and it's saying my production's impossible, then it will not produce for that 12-hour period. So that's why it's important to always watch these things, because you don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 and 4 in troops, because pardon me, no negative, and I'm going to put some in iron because I want to get towards that big assault or the big transport. Either one would make me want to kill myself less, which is always important. Okay, so that's kind of the resources tab. Mostly what it's used for, right? You can do a rough guess of how much you have of everything on your account if you haven't gathered it to your homeworld, which I haven't because I have a tiny, tiny butt assault, or transport, and it would drive me crazy. Here's also another good tab. It saved me this morning. Oh, that's really awkward. Oh no, okay, those are the new planets. But yeah, this morning that happened to me. I logged in and I saw 2 of these, where it's on 2 gold, 2 silicon, 2 iron, 1 uranium, 1 hydrogen. I was like, oh no, because that means I was producing the wrong resources all night. Actually, all of yesterday. I didn't log in yesterday. I won't be casting on Sundays just because, for religious purposes and also a day off, that kind of thing. Because this is so hard, as you can see. I'm sweating right now. I have a towel person just like wiping my face off, because this is really challenging. But you see that this is really good because you can see where your resources are getting screwed up. If you log into this and you're trying to just produce troops or just produce energy, or you want to produce a lot of iron, you can see which planets are producing, right? If you don't need gold, then you want to be like, well, why am I producing 6 points on gold? That's stupid. And you can go fix it, which is really important because it adds up. It snowballs, right? If you make 100k gold by accident, that's 100k less troops that you could have had. The numbers are actually different for the production. It would end up being about 50k troops, but it's still way better than 100k gold because gold is practically worthless at this point to you in the game. I also go to buildings table. I don't have any buildings, but as you can see here, we have the list of buildings. We'll talk about those in a minute. Just ignore that right now. We also have the building queue table because you can queue up buildings. It's pretty nifty because you can only build one building on one planet at any one time. You can't like build 2 buildings on separate planets. It doesn't work. But we'll get into that in a sec once we're done this one. I have one more that I want to talk about. And this is important to you because... Hold that thought. Okay, so here's the market. Everything on the market is determined in 100,000 units. Here, I'll read this. To sell resources from your planet, enter the amount to sell as a multiple of 100,000, and the price in credits per 100,000, and press sell. Multiple resources may be sold at the same time, and numbers not a multiple of 100,000 will be rounded down to the nearest 100,000. Perfect, right? So you're setting your price per that amount. As you can see, here's the best prices. So if you get 100k gold, it's worth 26 credits. But if you get 100k troops, it's worth 150. Big difference, okay? So this is important because this means you can buy troops. It's kind of expensive at this point in the game, but you can buy troops off the market using credits. And there's a few ways to get credits. You can buy them. You can go to... I actually don't remember where to buy them. Yeah, I don't remember where to buy credits. Oh, that's so awkward. I've never actually bought them before. Once or twice. Also, another way you can get credits is you go vote for the game on these websites. So, cast your vote. I hate these things. I always do it wrong. This is going to be so awkward. Oh, good. And then I'm just going to hit the back button, come back to here. Oh gosh, these have gotten so long. Do I have to capitalize? I don't even know. This is like a joke. This is like some cruel... I'm going to go back. Okay, so now, watch. If I go home, it gives me 12 credits. Okay, you can actually click on them and just hit back. I shouldn't be telling you this because it hurts the game, but some of those are just too annoying to vote for. So I got 18 credits from that. You can also win. So there's a few different ways you can win credits, okay? So Simba currently, if this was the 31st of March, would win 5,000 credits. I would win... Where am I at? There I am. Oh, yeah. I would win... I'm in 15th, so I'd win like 500 credits. Closer to the end of the month, other people will launch their big attacks, and it'll end up like way down here. But that's how it works. Up to 20th gets credit bonuses, but also round E leaders. So there's me, and there's another guy named Dagmore. We actually saw him in the resources traded, or pirated section, if you remember. He's kind of a noob, but we still love him. What happens is if I win this, so if I get 900 points and he doesn't get any more points, I get 100 credits, which is decent because credits are moderately important, and that goes all the way up. And that's a round is 1 month. So next month I'll be in round D, and the month after that I'll be in round C. But once I hit round A, there's so much competition. You don't actually get a prize for this because by the time you've been in it 5 months, if you win round A, you most likely are going to win the whole score screen. So you're probably not going to get... does that make sense? You're probably not going to get a lot of... Okay, sorry guys. I actually had to pause the video because I just had like a total massive brain fart. Yeah, so if you win round A, you're going to win the whole game probably for that month. I remember going to buy credits. You go to diplomacy. You can join a clan on the screen. We'll talk about that later. You go to buy credits. You can buy them in these increments. $40 is the best deal because you get 5k credits, which is the amount you get for winning a round. Also, apparently newbies don't get to see the upgrade button until they replace a mission with upgrades. If you go to diplomacy and you go to buy credits, it drops the upgrade menu, which we're going to do. Usually at the beginning of a month, this would be empty, but because I'm in noob mode, they gave me 50 planet limit free. Base limit's 25, you'll always have 25. But if you upgrade for 50 credits a planet, you can have up to 50 planets. You can also get secret technologies, which we will grab in the next video, because I'm just running short on time there now. But we'll talk about that in the next video. I would like to remind you that I would appreciate any comments, questions, rude remarks. In the comments section, thumbs up, thumbs down. Depends if you like stuttering. Thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. As always, it's been a pleasure, and play safe. Look both ways before you cross the street. I'll see you later.